Guys, I am obsessed with this Christmas countdown sign and I'm excited to share the process with you. I bought a SVG file on Etsy that I mostly liked, and I just changed out the font a little bit for the countdown portion of it. I always put a box around my designs that matches the size of wood that I'm using because it just makes it way easier when it comes time to put the design onto your wood. I have a Silhouette Cameo 4 and it's my favorite machine by far. I've used Cricuts in the past and they don't even come close to what Silhouette offers for their editing program. I'm using Aura Mask 813 for this and I will link everything in the description below. Weed your design and put it on your transfer paper. You can use a squeegee thing like I did, or you can just use a card from your wallet or an old hotel key card. When it comes time to paint your board, I like to do 2 to 3 light coats of paint with a foam brush. For my wreath, I made it out of some cute little evergreens that I collected in the forest a little while ago when I went up with the kids, and I just glued all the little pieces together to give a really nice circle that fit well around my numbers. At this point, you're going to peel your stencil away from the paper backing. I like to put my paper backing on the board while I hinge my stencil on to keep it from accidentally sticking to the board. Smooth the stencil down good and then peel away the transfer paper. I like to reuse mine, so I stick it back on the glossy side of the stencil paper when I'm done with it. I like to go over the whole stencil lightly with the background color and a cosmetic sponge to keep it from bleeding as much. Always dab, don't smear. When applying the paint, you want to use cosmetic sponges from Amazon or from the dollar store. Light coats are crucial. If you go on too heavy, you will have bleeding or you will even pull up your whole design when it comes time to take your stencil off. I like to do 2 to 3 light coats and pull the stencil off while the paint is still a little bit damp. I like to use sewing pins and tweezers to pick up any little parts of my design that stayed stuck down to the board, and then I like to use these cute little brushes for any of my touch-ups. I like to use 1x2s for the borders, but the step is totally optional. I absolutely love how it finishes the sign off, so I do borders often. I cut them to size, give them a quick sand, and this next part is awesome. You can use paint and baby wipes to give the borders a stained look. I kind of eyeballed getting my pins in. I picked these up at a local craft store, and then I just used a piece of laminated paper. I would have loved to use a ruler, but the kids kind of move things around often and I can never find what I'm looking for. So I just eyeballed them, stuck them in, and that's what the wreath is going to hang on as it gets moved around. I'm doing renovations at my friend's house, so I went over and used my air nailer there, but you can use a regular hammer and nails for this part too. Don't nail into the floor like I did. Oops. All in all, I love how the sign turned out and hope you do too. Merriest of Christmases to you all.